I want to start today with an apology because I'm really sorry if you couldn't see this video yesterday. I think we've fixed the problem, so hopefully everyone will be able to watch this on YouTube. And I know that YouTube does work on an iPad. I think it was Apple that was the problem yesterday. So hopefully this is a fix for the issues that we had yesterday. If you haven't yet watched yesterday's video and done that lesson, do that lesson first, because we're going to use that in our lesson today. So if you haven't seen that lesson, there is a YouTube link on this assignment. It should be just above the one for this video. So do watch that one first. You'll need that in order to do today's lesson. So if I share my screen, then we can get our maths lesson started. And hopefully you'll be able to see my whiteboard just like you did yesterday. We're going to start off with a Year 2 favourite to warm up our mathematical brains, and all I really need to do is to start doing this, and Year 2 will know exactly what I'm doing. I'm drawing a counting machine. Oh, it's gone off the bottom of the screen. Never mind, I'll make sure the most important bits we can actually see. Our counting machine is brilliant because it helps us to practice counting. Now in Year 2 we don't just need to count in ones, we have to be able to count in tens and in fives and in twos, and we're going to also start learning how to count in threes as well today. The brilliant thing about the counting machine is that it always looks different. So I'm just finishing off its buttons. Every single time we see this counting machine, it looks slightly different. But today it looks like this. And then I will just be able to fit in at the bottom what we're counting from and to. Oh, let's put in our boy and our girl, just in case I want to split it up that way. Okay, here's our counting machine, and very usefully, it's going to tell us what we have to count in. Let's start by counting in twos today. We'll start on 0, and let's just stop on 10. Now, the magic thing about this counting machine is, as soon as I press that green button, the children at home will start counting. That's how it works. So I want us to count in twos from 0 and stopping at 10. Let's have boys and girls going together. Everybody, go. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And we stop when we get to that final number there. I know that bit of Year 2 has been really easy for us, so let's make it a little bit trickier for ourselves, and let's just go a couple of numbers on from that 10. Let's try going up to 14. So think about when you're counting in twos, what you would say next after 10. So 10, add another 2. And then that number, add another 2, will get us to 14. So if I put boys and girls again, let's start on 0. Let's go all the way up this time to 14. Go. 0, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. And once we've done that, we can go even further. After 14, if we add on 2 more, would make 16. But let's go all the way up to 18 this time. Boys, you do this one on your own this time. So boys, count in twos from 0 to 18. Go. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Girls, your turn now. Off you go. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. 18 is not as far as we go in Year 2 though, so we're going to go all the way up to 24. That's how far we have to go in Year 2, up to the 12th multiple it's called. So let's us all count together in twos from 0 to 24. Go. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Excellent. Our counting machine doesn't have to just count in twos. Let's count in tens. Now I know counting in tens is easy for you, so I'm going to start on this number and let's stop on this number. This number, when counting backwards in tens, causes us a few problems. So let's really focus on the fact that 20 is a multiple of 10. 12, which is what we quite often say, is not a multiple of 10. Now, year two, we spoke about how to recognise a multiple of 10 last week. There was something particular about the ones digit. See if you can remember, rack your brain. What we said last week was that the ones digit has to be a 0. And if we think about the number 12, the ones digit is not a 0. That's how we know 12 is not a multiple of 10. So we shouldn't be saying 12 at all. So really concentrate on not saying the number 12. 20 is the number that we'll be ending on. So let's really concentrate on that. 20 is a multiple of 10. 12 is not. Boys and girls, let's go together. We'll count in tens. We're going to start on 100 and end up on 20. Go. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Lots of us say 30 and then 12. 20 is the number to really concentrate on. I wonder if anybody will make that mistake if I ask us to go down to 10. So really think carefully, don't say the number 12. As tempting as it might be, the number you're going to say is 30, 20, 10. Girls, you can go first this time. Go. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Did anyone say 12? I hope not. Boys, let's hope none of you say 12 either. Boys, count in tens from 100 to 10. Go. 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Of course, really what we want to do is go all the way back to 0. I'm not going to join in this time. I will just leave a little bit of a quiet space so that boys and girls, all of you, can go in tens from 100 down to 0. Go. And hopefully you managed to reach 0. I was doing it in my head. I made sure I said 20, not 12. I hope you did too. Okay. Let's move on and count in. Let's count in fives. Let's start on 0. We'll go all the way up to the 12th multiple, up to 60. So boys and girls, count with me, count in fives this time, from 0 up to 60. Go. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. If we really fancy a challenge, we can do it backwards. Let's start on 60 and goes down to 0. Boys and girls, do it along with me. Let's go. 60, 55, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. That 15 number is the hardest one to remember as we're counting backwards. Practice that at home if you need to. But I did say today that we would start to count in threes. I'm actually going to write us a little list here because this is the first time we've really done it properly in year 2, but it is something we're going to learn how to do. Like with all of our others, it starts with 0. And all we need to do is think about what would come next if we added on 3. So 0 add 3 is 3. 3 add on 3 gives us 6. 6 add on 3 gives us 9. 9 add on 3 gives us 12, and I think I can fit one more in just before I drop off the bottom of your screen. 12 add on 3 gives us 15. So let's just go with those numbers first, and once we've got those concreted and stuck in our heads, we can move on to something a little bit higher. But let's just start by counting in threes, start on 0 and ending up on 15. Use this little set of numbers if you need to. Boys and girls, do it along with me. Let's go. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And that's the beginning of counting in threes. Let's do it once more. Boys, in fact, let's go boys first and then girls first. You can do it on your own. So boys, you can go first. Count in threes from 0 to 15. Go. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And girls, to finish us off, you can have your go. Go. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Counting machine is brilliant because we can do it anywhere and count in anything. Those are the things to practice. If you're a bit bored and you want to do some maths practice, counting in 2s, 5s, 10s and now 3s is a really, really good idea. But let's start our maths lesson and the main content. And I want to start it actually by thinking back to yesterday. So remember, if you haven't watched yesterday's lesson, you need to go and do that, because the first question I'm going to ask you is, what is that sign there? It means something in mathematics. And yesterday we learned that it actually it shows a little phrase. 1, 2, 3, 3 words in our phrase. Hopefully you're going to get there before I've written it on my board. So if you haven't yet said it, remember what that sign actually says. We looked at it yesterday. I'm going to write it down in case you have forgotten. That sign there means is less than. And yesterday you were practicing by writing a number on this side, but making sure that the number on this side by the smallest part of our sign is less than whatever you put on here. 8, for example, and we would read it as 6 is less than 8. And what I showed you yesterday was that we don't even need those words. Oh, sorry, it's squeaky. We don't even need those words at all. We can still read it in the same way because this sign here means that little phrase is less than. 6 is less than 8. I'm going to put 2 other numbers here today, and I'm going to see if you can work out what the problem is. So if you read that mathematical statement now out loud, just have a listen to how it sounds. Hopefully you've noticed something. 34 is less than 21. Now there's a problem there, because 34 isn't less than 21 at all. So we can't write this statement like this. I'd like you to have a think about how to fix that. So how could I fix this so that it was true? There are actually 2 different answers here. The first answer is just to swap the numbers around. But we're not going to do that today. Today, we're going to have a think about this sign here. It means is less than. So it's no good for these numbers in this order. Have a think about that sign is less than, and use that information to see if you can figure out what that sign means. So this is the is less than sign. What do you think this says? Again, there are a couple of ways to say it. It does start with is. You might have said more. Its correct mathematical name is greater. Greater just means more. So is greater than. This symbol goes alongside the is less than sign. So we've got the is less than and the is greater than signs. They kind of work together because this is less than sign is no good in between 34 and 21. However, if I were to change the symbol, not change the numbers, if I change the symbols and do that, now my statement says 34 is greater than 21. And it means is more than. So you could read it as 34 is more than 21. And now my mathematical statement makes much more sense. That is absolutely true. 34 is indeed greater than or more than 21. Now my statement rather is correct. I wonder if you can guess then, year 2, what it is we're going to practice in maths today. Hopefully you realise we're going to practice the is greater than sign. I know some of you did both of them yesterday. In today's maths lesson, we are just going to focus on that is greater than sign. So I've actually kept my digit cards from yesterday. So if you've still got those, you can use them. If you haven't got them anymore, then just make yourself some others. Let's go with the 2-digit number 73, and then I'm going to write 84. I've got 2 blank ones. And we're going to have a think about this is greater than sign. The way to remember this sign, just like yesterday, I can fit 1 cube-ish in the end there, slightly smaller than the one I drew yesterday. Can I fit 3? I can indeed. So we can see that it's not equal. 1 cube fits on this end, more than 1 fits on this end. So this is the more than side. The more than side comes first, which is why we read it as more than rather than less than. Okay, so today, just thinking about this greater than sign. Oh, I've got a message from Mrs. Stevens saying my picture has frozen. Let's see if I can fix that. If I stop sharing, it should pop back to me. Mrs. Stevens, let me know if this is working. Yeah, okay. And then if I share my screen again, if I put down 2 digit cards, Mrs. Stevens, can you see that? Oh, brilliant. Okay, we're back. Hopefully you didn't. How much did you miss, Mrs. Stevens? Do I need to go back? Mrs. Stevens is just typing. Let me know how much I need to rewind my a little bit. Oh, with the cubes. Okay, so with the cubes, what I did was I put 1 cube into the smaller end, and then I managed to fit 3 just about into the larger end. So it helped us to recognise that this larger end means the greater than sign, because I can fit more cubes in this end than in the smaller end. So if the great big side comes first, it's the greater than sign. That's what you missed, I think. Mrs. Stevens says all working, so great, I'll carry on then. Because I had just picked up 2 of my digit cards from yesterday. And yesterday we were practicing putting them in the right order. In today's maths lesson, you are going to do just the same thing, but instead of using the is less than sign, I want you to use this sign, the is greater than sign. So here are the 2 numbers I picked, 84 and 25. Have a think about which of those numbers is bigger than the other one. And we can put them on either side of our greater than sign. Hopefully you spotted that 84 is greater than 25. So I'm going to do that again and pick 2 more cards. This time I have 12 and 52. So if I get rid of my 84 and 25, have a think about the numbers 12 and 52. Which number there is bigger than the other one? 52 is the number that's greater here. 12 is the number that is less. So 12, the smaller number, goes by the smaller side. 52, the greater number, goes by the great big side. That's how I like to remember it. It just helps me to remember which way round my sign goes. So if we read this mathematical statement now, it should say 52 is greater than 12. I'm going to grab out my maths book and just quickly show you the do it and twist it. I do have a solve it for you as well today. It should come as no surprise that today's title is going to be the greater than sign, making sure I get it in the right direction with the great big side coming first. And I'm going to write greater than, and today's date, which is the 14th of the 10th, and my D, because I forgot that yesterday. And in just the same way as I was doing my less than signs yesterday, I'm going to do the same sort of thing, but today I'm going to use the greater than sign instead. So there are my first two numbers. I need to get them so that the greater than sign comes first. So would we say 14 is greater than 73? No, we wouldn't. We would say 73 is greater than 14. And I'm going to write that into my book. 73 is greater than 14. And just like yesterday, you then pick two more cards and carry on and carry on. And again, do 8 of those in your book or on your paper, just like you did yesterday. Your twisted is also the same as yesterday. So yesterday you were creating a less than string, and some of you, not all of you, but some of you did spot the best way to make that string the longest string possible. And again, I would set you that challenge for today. So today, instead of creating a less than string, create a greater than string. So if I start with 13, and write the greater than sign. 13 is greater than 8. Then we carry on. 8 is greater than 5. Then we carry on. 5 is greater than 2. 2 is greater than 1. 1 is greater than 0. I could carry on, but we don't go into negative numbers in year 2. So stop at 0, year 2, even if you do know negative numbers. So to create the longest string possible, you will really have to think about what you're doing here in this greater than string, because otherwise it gets quite short quite quickly. I only managed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. See if you can beat me and get more than 6 numbers in your greater than string. You do have a solve it. Your solve it is a sheet that I will attach to your assignment. And you can type your answers on there, so you can send that back to me as well if you want to. The Solve It has a number of different answers, so try and find as many answers as you possibly can. Don't just go for the easy one. The Solve It's are designed to make you think really carefully and to try and find all of the possibilities that you can. So make sure you spend a little bit of time on that Solve It if you get there. And try and find as many answers as you can. I'm going to leave you with one final thought for the end of the maths lesson. And I'm not going to tell you the answer until tomorrow's maths lesson. So if I go back to my visualizer, I'm going to show you this. And all I want you to do is to figure out whether or not it's true and makes sense. And we'll have a think about it. You could pop it in the chat box, actually, what you think about the statement I'm about to write and whether or not you think it's true or not. So I'm going to start with that number and put that sign. And then I'm going to carry on. And that's what I want you to have a think about, just to finish off your maths lesson today. So do your do it, twist it and solve it first. Then come back to this and see if you can A, figure out what it says, and B, decide whether or not that is a true statement. Does it make sense? Can it be possible? Pop it in the chat box later once you've had a bit of a think about it, and we'll come back to that at the beginning of tomorrow's maths lesson. For now though, year 2, that is it. Have fun doing your maths and your English and your computing today. I'll be on the chat box all day. So if you need to ask any questions, just drop me a chat message or send me an email and I will do my best to answer. I'm going to upload this video now to YouTube, so hopefully everyone can see it. But for now, goodbye.